Welcome back, guys. I'm making this video just to kind of give you an update on how the build's going, and I know it's been a couple weeks since I last showed you what I was doing, but a lot of what I have left to do is kind of tedious stuff and it's not great to film it, and it takes a while to film silly little things. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing the last couple weeks, and I need some advice on a few things, so maybe you can comment on what you think. But I'm going to show you what I've been doing, what my plans are, and the kind of equipment I'm going to be playing with over the next few weeks here, so that we can get this car driving. And because I'm really pumped to try out everything. I've done a lot of work over the last year, and the nice weather's here, and I want to enjoy it. Our local track has opened up again amidst the whole COVID pandemic. They had shut down, and they had recently just opened back up again, which is great news because I want to hit the track with this thing and see what they'll do. But I'm just going to show you what I've been doing, and hopefully we can get this thing wrapped up shortly. First of all, I've been dealing with the brakes. You know, I've upgraded the front and rear to a big brake, C4, C5 Corvette setup in the front, and I've got disc in the back as well now. But I didn't finish my brake lines until now. So I know originally I said I was going to go stainless, but it's hard to get certain products right now, and this stuff is very easy to get. And I'm kind of digging the dark look. This is just normal. I don't know if you want to call it galvanized or whatever brake lines, but it's got, I guess it's not galvanized because it's not a galvanized coating. This is actually like a vinyl coating, I guess, almost like a plastic coating, but it's a darker green color, which I'm not all about showing off my brake lines anyway. If they're kind of hidden because they're darker in color, then I'm actually okay with that. I'm not showing off brake lines, but I've got them all plumbed in. That didn't take very long. Now I'm just in the process of bleeding them. Coming around the back, I've got my stereo all put back in because this is still just a street car. This is a fun cruiser. I am going to go and kick the crap out of it at the track, but I still like my music. And this sucker, I weighed this guy. This whole unit was 146 pounds. That sub alone was just shy of 50 pounds. So the whole unit's 146 pounds, which does not work for racing. It's not an advantage whatsoever, but for the street car aspect of it, that's what I'm still kind of into, so I'm leaving it at that. I might take it out one day, but I'm still young at heart and I enjoy it. I've got my air ride all plugged back in. I took the batteries out, put them back in because I cleaned up, painted the metal brackets that I had made for it years ago. Finished off my floor. That was actually pretty quick and easy. Just bent a piece of sheet metal, welded it in, painted it, some trim clad, seam sealed it, and it's good to go. I bought a new shifter. Bought a B&M Stealth Pro Ratchet shifter. And before you're fooled by the picture on the box, it is not this old school style with the white 8-ball looking thing on top. Or not 8-ball, but cue ball. It's not that. It is that. Look at that sexy pistol grip B&M Stealth Pro Ratchet shifter. Like, this thing is gorgeous. I'm pumped about that. I'm liking that it's black, kind of goes with the rest of the car. And one of the other nice things about that shifter, look what I'm doing with the center console. This is the cover for the shifter. It's like a satin black, kind of like a brushed finish. They just basically painted the aluminum satin. But this guy, because I need to figure out a center console, I went down to the local U-Pick Wreckers, and I got this center console for 40 bucks out of an 06 Grand Prix. Let me grab a light here. There we go. It's a little bit better. Yeah, so this center console came out of a Grand Prix, and I went through and looked at a whole bunch of different center consoles out of different vehicles, and this one seemed to fit the parameters extremely well. Width-wise, it's nicer than the other center console I had in here, which was a little too wide. I actually had to cut it narrower. My other one didn't have an armrest because it didn't come with the car. This one has an armrest now. It has an auxiliary on the front. It has an auxiliary inside the center console. 2 cup holders, a spot I can put my phone, and the best part is trying to make this work with the center console. The Grand Prix, where the shifter was this big rectangle. And now, let me just move my light. If I can sit it right. This guy fits. Like width-wise, the width is perfect. Length-wise, I have to do a little bit of cutting. You'll see that. Lengthwise, I got to cut it a little bit. But that's no big deal, right? Just cut it a little bigger. And then this whole thing's going to sit recessed down inside, and you're only probably going to see the top inch or so sticking out. But I think this is going to work great because now I've got modern amenities like cup holders, spot to put my phone, the auxiliaries and stuff like that. And I'm even thinking this traction control button, I might wire that into the 2-step. So I'm very thrilled about this buy. I even grabbed the bracketry out of the car so I can mount this thing properly with the proper bracketry that's underneath it. The other thing I'm doing in here, you'll see I've got the seat mocked up because I installed my new Grant steering wheel. It's not totally in yet, but I just wanted to see how everything fits. I've got my head unit back in, or I guess you want to call it a head unit. You know, I guess the head unit goes here. And then I added a second air gauge. I was only running the one air gauge, which told me how much air I had in the tank. The other gauge is going to tell me how much I have in my front bags. Because those Ride-Tech front struts I've got in it, they specify not to exceed a certain air PSI. So as you can see, I've still got all my speaker wire. I have to finish running through the back, and I gotta mount the shifter yet, run the cable up. I've already got the proper bracketry on the transmission. I put that on before I even put the transmission in. I've had the shifter sitting on my shelf for months. But I don't want you guys to think that I'm just not doing anything. I am getting a lot of stuff done. It's just stuff not worth filming. It's just all little tedious stuff. So it's just easier for me to do a video like this, kind of giving you an overview on how it's all going together and what I've been doing, and just you know, if it gives you an idea in the future on if you're doing a build, you know, what kind of a center console would look good in a car like this with a shifter like that, if that's the look you're going for. Because I could tell you the factory shifter center console that came in this car, you can't charge your phone on it. You can't hold your phone. There was no cup holder. Like, there was nothing. So to me, that was a way to go. Something I want to get your guys' opinion on, because I'm hoping somebody that watches this might have an idea, because I'm not totally sure. My sub that I have in the back here is not a cheap sub, and my youngest decided when it was sitting on the floor here before I put it in to use one of his Hot Wheel cars and drive it around inside it because he thought it was fun. But in doing that, it scratched the living daylights. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see the scratches, but there's scratches all over this thing. And it looks like crap. And I'm not replacing it. So I hate showing it off all scratched up. So if anybody has any ideas as to a way to polish that out without looking like it's obviously been polished out, maybe throw it in the comment section. But other than that, I got to finish running my air lines up to that new gauge. I've got a little bit more wiring to do mount the shifter, and I can start throwing the rest of my interior back in. Not that I have a lot, but you know, the carpet, the other seat, the back seat, stuff like that. And finish bleeding the brakes. But other than that, this is just an update, and we'll look to get this thing motoring shortly. But till next time, that's it.